Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to today's webinar on the Target Jobs Undergraduate of the Year Awards. My name is Bryony and I head up the student engagement for the awards. So if you have started your application, then you will absolutely have heard from me. And if you have any questions at all, do feel free to reach out to me. Today, we're going to go through what the awards are, why you should apply, and we're also going to be joined by some of last year's winners and finalists as well, just so they can share their experience of the awards with you. Just to start with, I want to share a little bit of a video from last year's awards, and it really just kind of shows what the awards are about, the vibe and the energy that you can get if you do make it to the final. I think it's a nice way to start today's session.
A very, very good afternoon and a warm welcome to the Target Jobs Undergraduate of the Year Awards 2022. In partnership with SHL, thank you for being here. Thank you. Today's awards ceremony is all about meeting some of the very best, most talented, high potential UK university undergraduates, and it really is one of the most enjoyable things that we get to host. Please give a very warm welcome to your host, Sue Perkins.
Simon, thank you for that introduction, without which half of you would be thinking, look, there's Mel from Mel and Sue.
The winner of the Black Heritage Undergraduate of the Year Award is Samuel Ola.
Honestly, I'm still in shock even now. I think when my name was called out, it felt like a real privilege because I'd spoken to the other finalists and everyone had such inspiring stories, and to be singled out of those amazing talents is honestly a real pleasure, and I'm still shocked, to be very honest.
Absolutely gobsmacked. Like I had to ask someone across the table if they'd really just said my name.
I'm not sure what winning means to me, but I'd say that it opens up doors for me in the future and allows me to have that internship and experience that opportunity and sort of learn more about the industry before going into it in the future. I would say to others just to take this opportunity and apply for the Undergraduate of the Year Awards. It's something that you can do while you're at university at any point of your career at university, and then just do it, because you don't know what's going to happen. Like me, I just did it and now here I am standing as a winner, so why not apply?
The quality and the variety of things that people are doing has grown significantly over the years, and we're just blown away generally by the people that we see and that we meet.
I was a bit hesitant at first because obviously I didn't study management. It doesn't matter because you can be from any background, any discipline, and still put an application in. It's definitely worth a shot. It's a really good process in itself. You find out a lot about yourself. And you get to meet some great people along the way.
This year we've offered all of the finalists internships at Rolls-Royce, so it's not just about actually winning it. Yes, that is brilliant and that should be celebrated, but it's a way of us connecting with some really fantastic future talent and being able to offer you internships and opportunities within Rolls-Royce. But even if you enter the process, it's a process that gives you experience about talking about your skills and strengths and networking and meeting like-minded individuals and companies, so I'd encourage any student to come be part of it.
When you have this kind of opportunity, no self-doubt, there's no chance for second guessing, just do it, and you just never know, you're a winner regardless.
I've learned tons today by speaking to 18, 19-year-olds who do things I could never dream of.
Fantastic. So I hope that little video gives you a little bit of insight into what the awards are like if you are successful in making it to the final, which will be in April next year. That video was taken this April, so about 6 months ago now, and it was our first in-person celebration since 2019. So everybody that came, I hope they had an absolutely fantastic time. So a little bit into what the awards are. So they're a competition for undergraduate students in the UK. They are the biggest national annual competition for UK students. You would pick an award. We've got 13 categories to choose from this year. You would submit an application online, and then each award is partnered with a prominent graduate recruiter who will offer the winner a fantastic prize. Now, some of the prizes to choose from this year include places on graduate schemes, paid placements, and even one-to-one meetings with CEOs and travel vouchers. So there's some really exciting money can't buy prizes up for grabs this year across the 13 award categories. So, how would you submit an application? As I just said, you would pick one of the 13 awards. You can only apply for one award, so you need to make sure that the award that you pick is the right one for you. To start an application, you would fill in kind of the bio data, so that's your name, your university, what you're studying, and then you may have to complete some essay questions and online tests. Now, dependent on the award that you apply for, it may have 1 to 4 online tests, 1 to 4 essay questions, sorry, and then it'll either have 1 to 3 online tests. Now, they're absolutely nothing to be scared of at all. The way that we create the process is to mimic a graduate scheme recruitment process. So even if you don't get past this first stage of the competition, you've had some absolutely fantastic experience in applying for a graduate scheme process. So then when you do come to the end of studying and you start to apply for those graduate schemes, you've had a little bit of practice already. Once you've submitted your essay questions and your online tests, we will then class you as completed. You've completed and submitted your application. And at that point, we will pass over all of the applications to the award partner. Now, the next stage of the competition would either be an assessment centre, an interview, maybe a project or a presentation. And from that, the award partner will pick their top 10 and their winner to invite to the grand final. So the key dates to remember is that the application deadline is the 30th of January. So that would be your personal information, your essay questions, and your online tests. And then if you're successful, the grand final will be on the 21st of April. Now, a little bit more about the grand final. So, as I mentioned, it will be in April next year and it's hosted in Canary Wharf in London. We do have a celebrity host. So last year, as you can see, it was Sue Perkins, most excitably known probably from the Great British Bake Off for any of my fellow Bake Off lovers out there. We start the day with welcome drinks and a live band. We then have a 3-course sit-down meal. There's lots of chance for networking, building relationships and making connections. And then we will go on to the thing that everybody's waiting for. And the winners are announced by the lovely Sue. And everybody will come up and collect their prize. Now, you don't just have to win in order to be successful in the awards. On the screen here, we've got some recommendations from other students that took part in the competition last year. Now, the only person on the screen that was a winner was Isabel. So Joe, Tanisha and Sophie were all finalists and they were all offered placements. So last year, out of 122 finalists, over 60 of them were offered a placement or an opportunity or something as a result of taking part in the competition. So as I said earlier, it is absolutely not the winning that counts. It is the taking part. There's so much up for grabs. Even if you just apply for a little bit of experience, it's a great thing to do to pop on your CV that you took part. And who knows, you may just be successful in making it to the final and you may even win. You've got absolutely nothing to lose and so much to gain. But I will be quiet now as we are going to be joined by 3 of last year's alumni. So if I can invite them to join the call and we will ask them how they found the process last year. Brilliant. Welcome, you two. Let's There we go. Brilliant. So we've got everybody. Fantastic. So do you want to start by just introducing yourselves, what award you applied for, and anything else exciting that you've got to tell us? Sharon, if you want to go first.
Okay, no worries. Can you hear me?
I can, yes.
Hi guys, I'm Sharon. I'm a second year politics student studying at King's College London, and I applied for the Black Heritage stream of the Undergraduate Awards.
Amazing. And then Yasmin.
Hi everyone, I'm Yasmin. I was lucky enough to be the winner of the Management Award this year. I am a third year and I study at St Andrews.
Brilliant. And we're going to, is it Lebanon, Banner, you are at the moment?
Yes, I'm in Lebanon now. My name is Dana Itani. I last year, or technically this last year's version of Target Jobs' award. And I just finished the LLB at SOAS University of London.
Brilliant. And I think it cut out a little bit there. So Banner was the winner of the Young Activist Undergraduate of the Year last year, and very excitingly is joining us live from Lebanon, which is absolutely blown my mind. So we'll go through to some of the questions that we've got for you all. So I think the most important one really is, what made you want to apply for an Undergraduate of the Year award? And Yasmin, if we go through to you first.
Yeah, of course. So the main reason I applied, so I came across the awards when I was looking for internships, and I thought, wow, that's amazing. Like, the whole experience sounded really, really good. I actually applied because I thought it'd be a great experience for grad schemes, not thinking I would win, obviously. But that was the main reason I applied, really. And then the whole application process was just so much fun. I was like, oh, I'm so glad I've applied. But yes, it was such a good experience.
Amazing. And Banner, if we go over to you, why did you choose to apply? I think you're on mute. Okay, if we go over to Sharon while we get Banner back.
So I applied for two reasons. The first one being the opportunities. So the opportunities linked to each award was amazing. And I particularly looked at the stream I wanted to apply for, which was being sponsored by Sky at the time. And they were offering a work experience placement, which was amazing. And I thought insight. Second reason is for recognition, but not in the traditional way of recognition, but in a sense I could put on LinkedIn, on my application, on CV, stuff like that, that I was a finalist for the Undergraduate of the Year Awards. So those were the two reasons.
Brilliant. And if we come back to Banner, hopefully, have we got her back? No, I think we might have lost her, which is absolutely fine. I'm sure if anybody has any questions specifically for Banner, if you want to send me them over, I can forward them to Banner, and I'm sure she would be more than happy to answer any questions. But we'll move on to the next one. So how did you find the application process? Did you find it particularly challenging? Did you enjoy the process from start to finish? And Sharon, if we go back to you.
Yeah, I definitely enjoyed the process. I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought it would be. Like, I thought it would be hard or challenging to some extent, but really and truly, I found that being myself throughout the application process was just enough.
No, brilliant. And Banner, we've got you back. So the question before was, why did you apply? And how did you find the application process?
Yeah, so I'm apologize for the slow network. I'm in a third world country, so we have third. But I and at the beginning I had some reservations about applying and rather begrudged the graduate recruitment team responsible for this award about, like, why are there so many essays, why are there so many tests, and like, do I even have a chance of getting into this award if I apply? And after a call with Toby Horner from Clifford Chance, he encouraged me to apply and submit a rather last minute application. It was in like maybe the final few days before the deadline. But I mean, it all worked out okay because at the end I ended up winning. It was just about being yourself on those applications and not trying to be robotic and seem like you want to put the answer that you actually believe, not the answer you think they want to hear. So I think there was a question in the chat about how to answer essay questions, and that is my biggest piece of advice. It's actually be yourself. Don't be fill your heart out onto that application because that's what gets you far in the process. And yeah, so that's kind of my take on things.
No, that's perfect. Thank you. And Yasmin, how did you find the process?
Yeah, so I was kind of similar actually. I was hesitant to apply because it was like a couple of days before the deadline and I had like 2 essays due and all this stuff, but I was like, no, it's worth it. And I found that as I got further through the process, it's more fun, as weird as that sounds. So the first part was like an essay and an online test, which obviously you do by yourself. But then as you progress through, like the video interview, all of the enterprise team was so nice. And then the assessment centre, everyone who was applying for the awards was so lovely. And that was my first assessment centre, and I think it was most people's first assessment centre. But everyone was so lovely there, and it was just really nice to be in a room with all the people that applied, and we were all sort of in it together. And then obviously the getting to the final top 10, that was an insane experience, but that's not really a hard experience. Like, that's the fun bit. So oh, Bryony, I think you're on mute.
I am on mute, and you would think after 2 years of doing things online, we would get over the mute, but here we are. So the next question really was kind of, what was your favourite part of the competition? I know, Yasmin, you were saying there that you really enjoyed the final. Would you say that that was your favourite part of the process, or did you more enjoy the assessment centre?
I would say the final was my favourite part, mainly because it was the most unexpected part as well. But the reason I liked that bit so much was because you met everyone from all the different awards. So the assessment centre was lovely to meet people from like the management awards, but it was just so inspiring to meet people from the activist awards and all the other awards. So that was my favourite part, just because you could feel like the vibe of the room was just amazing and everyone was so lovely. So that was definitely my favourite part, but I did enjoy the assessment centre too.
Brilliant. Sharon, what was your favourite part of the process?
I mean, holistically, the process was so good in my opinion, and like all parts were good. I would say it was the interview for me. So after you've submitted your application to Target Jobs and then you're transferred to like the companies, for my stream particularly, we had to then go through to interviews. And it was my favorite part because essentially I could just talk about what I was passionate about, and that really shone through in my interview. And I got to meet people who were like amazing in terms of giving me encouragement as well as insight into what they do. So apart from them questioning you on what you do, you were also learning about them and also taking a few top tips on how to do well in whatever application process you do, not like including Target Jobs. So yeah.
No, that's perfect. And Banner, if we've still got you, did you have a favourite part of the process? Although I'm not sure if she's still with us.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Amazing.
Sorry for the connection issues. Yeah, so favorite action center at the final. And I know that might sound a bit, strange, because the final is like the final. There's Super Perkins, there's this three-course dinner, everyone's winning. But the assessment center was kind of like, it boils down your purpose into one thing. Like, what are you actually here for? What does this award mean to you? What are you going to do with it? How are you for good? And especially very related to like community service and having a positive impact on your communities. So it kind of gave all of us who were there being interviewed like a very common topic to discuss in the lunch that we had together. You even got to do a presentation about what positive impact on the communities around you. So there's just a lot of like-minded people who are there for our we're still friends with each other, still have a group chat with each other. We chat all the time. We meet up. Like it's something that's
Yeah, that's great. Thank you. And it's really nice to hear as
I
well.
don't know if you guys missed the ending of that, but yeah,
It's really nice to hear as well, Vanna, that you're still kind of in touch with the other finalists that you were a part of the award with. That you've still got a group chat and you still talk to each other. So that's really nice to hear. Obviously, I don't think many people, when they enter a competition like this, are entering to make friends, more make connections with like professionals. So it's really nice to hear that kind of making friends is something that people have got out of the competition, which is brilliant. Um, we'll move on to the next question, which was kind of what has happened since the awards. I know obviously Vanna is in Lebanon, so lots of things must have happened since April. But Yasmin, what's happened since the awards? Tell us about kind of the next steps that you've had since the final.
Yeah, so since the awards, I've had quite a lot of contacts with the people that sponsor the management award at Enterprise. So I have, there's a brand manager here in Scotland, and me and him work really closely together. So I now work for Enterprise as a campus brand ambassador. So it means I recruit people for the grad scheme, talk about internships, this award. I've also been designing my award, not my award, sorry, my internship. So I can pick a 10-week internship in any city and in any department. So I've been designing that with the enterprise team, and that's in the summer. And then other than that, I've been doing like articles and blogs and things about the award for uni here and telling people about why to apply and things. So that's the main things I've been doing really.
No, that sounds really exciting. How have you been finding kind of the campus brand ambassador role?
Yeah, it's really fun. So I've been to Glasgow, Edinburgh, Dundee, like different careers fairs, and that's been amazing just to make so many connections as well. It's weird being on like the other side of the careers fair, but that's been amazing, and meeting so many people in the enterprise team. So it's been really great. Like I didn't think I'd meet that many people and make so many connections just for like applying for one award. So it's been really fun.
No, amazing. And Sharon, what have you been up to since the final?
A lot of things essentially. I guess linked to target jobs, since the awards and being a finalist, I've been working very closely with my uni king, and just doing interviews with the careers department and encouraging more students to apply for the awards this year. I've been filling now basically forms that will give more people information about the awards, and that being posted on the socials and working platforms at King's. And then apart from that, in general, I was on work experience during the summer at Parliament working for an MP, and as a result of that got called back, and I now work for the MP part-time.
That is so exciting. And all of the semi-finalists and finalists and winner from the Black Heritage Awards, you all got invited to Sky's headquarters as well, didn't you? So how was that day?
Yes, indeed. We did get invited to the headquarters in Ostili, and that day was just so amazing. Like, just walking into the headquarters was like a jaw-dropping moment. And for me, my highlight was seeing a Sky News presenter and waving at them, something as simple as that. Given that I've also been interested in like news presenting and stuff like that, so it really encouraged me that it's not impossible. And the fact that I was there on that day was definitely a big source of encouragement, as well as meeting like-minded people. So the day in all was amazing.
No, that's incredible. Very, very well done to you for doing that, and very exciting as well that you're now working in politics part time already, and you've not even graduated yet, which is just incredible. And Banner, I know part of your prize was to attend the One Young World Summit. How was that?
Yeah, so part of my award was attending the One Young World Summit in Manchester in September. And that was honestly a very priceless experience that is so unique, and not every single person like can get that opportunity. And actually the chances of getting into One Young World and even getting a scholarship to One Young World and like having it fully funded and everything, I think they even mentioned it at the conference. They said it's even harder than getting accepted into Harvard, like statistically speaking. So I'm forever grateful to Target Jobs for facilitating that and making that happen. And One Young World was amazing because you got to meet the most bright young minds from all over the world who were making the most amazing changes in their communities, like people fighting climate disasters in Latin America, or people fighting food insecurity, in other parts of the world. So it was something that kind of just like made you strive to be better in your life and improve on everything. Inspiring speakers that got to come, like Halima Aden, who's the first model with a hijab to go on the cover of Vogue, Demeter, and she networking that you could do at One Young World. We even got to see the Duke and Duchess of Sussex there. They came and Meghan Markle gave a speech, and yeah, it was just a very otherworldly experience, and it's something I'm never going to forget for the rest of my life. So I'm so grateful for the award and for Target Jobs and One Young World and Clifford Chance for making this happen, because without it, I wouldn't have had this experience. And even the people that I've met there, we're still in touch. We meet up even when they came to town to Lebanon. We had like a couple of chats with a couple of people who were there. And now in my travels over the next few months, I'll be connecting with people from One Young World who I've met all around the world. So that's something very, very unique that I'm very, very grateful to have been a part of.
No, that sounds amazing. And I can just say as well that Banner sent me some of the photos from the One Young World Summit, and it did look absolutely incredible. So I was very, very jealous that she got to do that. So that's kind of everything that we would go through for the questions on about the process. If anybody has any questions at all for any of the speakers, do feel free to pop them in the chat and we will go through them in a second. But the last question that I had for you all would be kind of what would be your tips for a student if you could go back and apply again, what would you do differently? Sharon, if you want to go to you first.
Sure. I wouldn't necessarily do anything differently. I feel like I got to a good level given that I applied in first year of university, and the applications literally closed in January, but I'd only been in uni for 3 months. Like, what am I supposed to say? But I managed to leverage off on all the things that I'd done. So, a top tip that I would recommend is to really make sure your answers are structured in the essay questions that you're given initially at the start. Um, and that's because at that point of time, Target Jobs needs to go through like thousands of applications. So what you want to do is stand out, and how you stand out is by having a clear answer. to the questions. So a method I would really recommend is the STAR method, and I'll put in the group chat, but it's essentially when you're asked the question, you state the situation, what you had to do in the situation, which is the task, your actions, not actions of other people, but your actions specifically, because again, we're interested in you, and also the result of your actions and whether they yielded great outcomes or if you could have done anything better. So I would really recommend that you think through your answers and spend time on those answers and avoid a last minute application.
Yes, I like that last one. Avoid a last minute application. The application deadline isn't until January, so get them in early and then you don't have to stress. It's all done and dusted and out of the way. Yasmin, do you have any tips or would you have done anything differently at all?
Yeah, so I think the main thing that I would say, like looking back, if I was to do it again, is just believe in yourself more. Like, you are getting through to each stage for a reason. Like, you have been picked for a reason, whether that's for the interview, the assessment center, like whatever stages it is. And I think I was so nervous and I was really worried that everyone was amazing and like the imposter syndrome can kick in a little bit, but I never thought I would win, but I think it's so important to actually believe in yourself. Like, you've done amazing things and they will show off. So just be exactly who you are. Like, don't worry about competing with this person, that person. Like, it is a competition, but also it's not. Like, my assessment center, I remember the first thing Enterprise said was like, you're not competing against each other. Like, there's 8 of you here and 10 of you can get through, so there's different assessment centers. Like, you can all be friends and we all really supported each other through it. But I remember being so nervous, and I think sometimes I was so nervous that like I didn't enjoy it as much as I could have. So definitely just remember, like, you're there for a reason, and that will show through.
No, that is very, very good advice. Just to enjoy the process more and just relax, which I think we could probably all do with doing now and again. Banner, do you have any top tips at all? I know you popped in the chat earlier your tips with kind of acing the assessment. Did you have any other tips at all?
Yes, I did. I just turned off my camera so the audio would be better, so in case anyone's wondering. In terms of top tips for success and, just to, enjoy this, to the maximum is actually, this sounds a bit cheesy, but it's kind of like enjoying the journey rather than keeping your eye always on the destination. So of course, when you apply, you apply with the intention of winning and you hope you want to win, but don't forget to actually have fun in every single stage of the process, because truly at the end of the day, it is the journey and not the destination that's going to be staying with you. So all the people that were finalists in my award category have gone on to do amazing things. We've all stayed in touch. We all chat from time to time. We keep in touch and keep up to date with everyone's updates on life, careers, what they've been doing in their communities. So it's something that I really can't emphasize enough. And of course, what Yasmin was saying about imposter syndrome is very relatable, but I would say just have confidence in yourself and have faith in yourself and let that shine through in your application. It will be very obvious to the team when they read something where the candidate themselves don't believe in themselves. So why would the person reading your application believe in you if you can't, believe in yourself, and let that shine through. And of course, don't sell yourself too short. I think a lot of people have issues with, writing about their own achievements or the things that they've done. And they try to like draw the line between being confident or being arrogant. And I think that don't obviously err on the side of confidence and not arrogance, but don't be afraid to actually, let all your achievements shine through and let yourself and your personality come through in the application, because that's what's going to get it at the top of the pile that gets into the finalists and then into the award itself. So I really can't emphasize that enough, being yourself and being super authentic in the application. And of course, not being robotic at any stage of the process, whether it's the application or the assessment center. I think that's a mistake a lot of people fall into. And even the people who've not made it to the final, I've chatted with them and gotten their feedback on, what went wrong. A lot of the time they were telling me like, yeah, I'm just telling them what I think they want to hear. And there's something else I want to say, and intimidated. And I went into like this very robotic state of speaking. So I just hope that that could stay with you guys, and when the time comes for you to do assessment centers, you'll remember us and the advice that the ladies are giving here as well. And yeah, I mentioned something in the chat about assessment centers. It's all about practice makes perfect and knowing what you need to practice for. So don't be afraid or intimidated to reach out to the team and actually ask them what's at stake and what you're supposed to be doing, because a lot of the time, everyone is busy. There's so much admin to work through when you're working through this type of award that sometimes, okay, things might be a bit unclear for you as an applicant or a finalist. So what I did was I emailed Clifford Chance and I told him, hey, can we have like a breakdown of like what we're expected to do, how we're expected to do it, and just a bit more clarity on the issue. And then they went ahead and sent everyone a full itinerary of the day, how it would go about, what was expected of us, and that practice and helped me practice and prepare myself for what was to come. So that is my main piece of advice. Sorry, I rambled on for a lot, but I was trying to like put a lot of little gems in there for you guys to bear in mind throughout the process.
No, that is absolutely perfect. And just as Banner said there, if there is anything at all that is unclear on the website or anything, you can absolutely reach out to the team. You can reach out to myself, and anything that we can do to clarify anything in any way, we absolutely will. We want all of you to do your absolute best. So any way that we can help, we will. Somebody has asked quite early on about practicing online assessments. So I'll put it to the panelists as to whether they've got any tips on online tests. But I'm also going to pop a link in the chat as well, which will take you to an article on Target Jobs, which has some links to practice online tests. But does anybody have any tips at all for kind of doing your best in an online test?
So all of the tests, I think, I don't know if they're the same or a bit different, but for the management award, the test was very like personality based. So it was obviously like I researched and did practice on how they actually work, but when it comes down to doing the test, I genuinely think the main thing I did was like not overthink it. I got into such a thing of what am I going to answer, blah blah, but it's just you. So it was like 3 different words and which one do you identify with and stuff, and don't think, oh, what do they want, what quality are they asking for, like just think which one is it, like which one do you identify with, or like what is your answer, and pick that one. Don't try and think what an assessor wants to see, like think what you actually are, and that'll reflect yourself, and then you'll find it so much easier through the process as well, because you'll have shown exactly who you are rather than trying to think what other people want and just complicating it for yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. And Sharon, do you have any tips at all?
No, not really. I think it's all been said, but I'll just reiterate that in the tests, don't put what you think they want to hear or see, because the questions are also designed to catch you out. So don't think that you can like outsmart the test because the test is designed to catch you out. So what the best thing to do is leverage off yourself, literally leverage off your own personality and just be as true as possible to who you are.
Brilliant. And Banner, did you mention Young Activists did have tests last year that you had to do?
Yes, we did have tests that we had to do. And actually, this is a bit of a turn of of the tides, you could say, here in terms of the tests for the awards. So one of the tests we had to do was a critical thinking exam, and that's more commonly known as the Watson-Glaser test in the UK. And the Watson-Glaser test is used by different types of companies for different types of positions, but it's most commonly used by law firms when assessing whether a candidate can complete their application to apply to train at a law firm. And I actually had a lot of trepidation about that test because I had already been flunking it every single time I took it when I was applying to law firms. And that kind of plummeted my confidence. And it was the reason why I was very hesitant to apply to this award. I was like, oh, there's no way I'm going to pass this test. And if I've been failing it this far, why would I ever pass it now? And when I reached out to the team at Clifford Chance, and this is why I want to emphasize, like, if you feel like there's something wrong or you feel like there's to you, just communicate with people, reach out to to the sponsor teams and voice your concerns and have a chat with them about it and have some productive conversations. Because what ended up happening was I reached out to Toby from Clifford Chance and told him, like, okay, like, I've been failing this test, and from like time and time again with all these firms that I've been applying to, why would I pass it now? And like, why would I waste my time submitting an application if I know I'm going to fail it? And then he was like, okay, you know what? I'll have a chat with the team and I'll get back to you, but please prepare your answers for the essay questions because we want to see your application and we don't want this test to deter you. And at the end of the day, they used the application, but it wasn't used so much as a sifting tool for the finalists. It was more of like a formality for getting through to the next stages, but it wasn't the sifting tool that they used. They used the essay questions and the answers to the essay questions as the main criteria for passing to the next stage. So I would also say voice your concerns if you have any. And someone on the chat said, any tips on how international students can work on their accents? You sound perfectly fluent. Oh, that's very kind of you. This is just all the American TV that I've consumed in my life. But yeah, if you're an international student and English is not your first language, you don't have to by any means perfect your accent to appeal to any of the assessment centers or the companies. They will definitely be understanding. And on the contrary, they will actually welcome international students. And I think they welcome global perspectives and they don't expect everyone to have like a prim and proper accent. So by all means, do not worry about what accent you have, and just be confident in yourself and in your background, and be proud of who you are.
No, absolutely. I second that, Banner. Please do not worry about accents. Everybody has accents. My accent is very different to everybody at work, with the office being based down south and me being from up north. So don't ever worry about your accent. As long as everybody believes what you've got to say, it doesn't matter how you say it. So we've got another couple of questions, so I'll just quickly go through them. So Michelle, if you've cancelled an application but decide that you do want to go ahead, please reach out to me and let me know. You can still apply. That's not a problem at all. We'll just need to get it sorted for you. Let me have a look. Hattie asked about the Female Undergraduate of the Year Award, and is it based on your academic record or more about extracurricular activities? So for females specifically, there aren't any academic requirements. For some of the awards this year, there is an academic requirement. For example, for some of them, you need to be on track to receive a 2-1 in your degree, but that isn't the case for all of the awards. They all have a different set of unique eligibility criteria, so just double check that. If you would like in your essay questions to write about either academic achievements or extracurricular achievements, that is completely up to you. Whichever you feel you can speak more confidently about in your essay questions is what I would advise you to talk about. Let's have a look if there's any other quick ones to go through. So the threshold or cutoff for qualifying after the online test, again, is completely different on each award. They have a different set of skills and qualities that they're looking for dependent on the award. I would suggest, and I'm not sure if it's anything that the girls did on the call, once you're starting to apply for an award, go on to the award partners early careers page. So let's take female, for example. I would go on to Rolls-Royce careers, have a look at their website, have a look at what their values are, what their morals are as a company, have a Google and see what comes up in news articles, see what they're doing at the minute, and then kind of use that to influence which award you want to go for. And then it also means you'll be a little bit more well informed when you're writing your essay questions, and it looks really, really good for commercial awareness as well. I could see Yasmin and Sharon both nodding there, so I'm guessing both of them went on Enterprise and Sky's early careers page. Brilliant. We've got a few more questions. Can finalists apply to the awards? So I'm guessing that means a final year student. Again, every award has different eligibility criteria. So you'll just need to have a look through the awards and see which ones are open for final year students. But they're absolutely is one, and you can definitely apply if you are in final year. Celebrating Neurodiverse Talent is an award again this year as well. So we've got 13 awards this year. We've got AI and Robotics with Ocado, Black Heritage with Sky, Celebrating Neurodiverse Talent with Rolls-Royce, Construction, Engineering and Environment with ACOM, Excellence Through Adversity, again with Rolls-Royce, Female, again Rolls-Royce, First Generation with BT Group this year, Future Actuary with Aon, Future Lawyer with Clyde & Co, LGBTQ with Clifford Chance, who is the award partner for the award that Banner won last year. We've also got Management with Enterprise Rent Car, Maths, Physics and Economics with Glencore, and last but very much not least, we have Software Engineering with Skyscanner. And as much as I would like to say that that was from memory, it wasn't. You can only apply to one award. So with there being 13 to choose from, as I said earlier, make sure you go on to the careers pages. If you're stuck between two, head on, look at what their values are, see which company is more aligned to yourself, and also look at the prize, because if you do win, then you want to have a prize that you'll be excited to do. And yes, maths, physics, economics is new for this year, along with future actuary and along with AI and robotics. There are 3 new ones. So yeah, does anybody else have any more questions? I'm going to take that as a no. Oh, Charlotte has asked Yasmin, did you get a chance to do a paid internship?
Yes. So my internship, I could do it the summer just gone or next summer, but I chose next summer because then I can do a year in not a year, a couple of weeks in Europe as well. But that is a 10-week fully paid internship, and you design the internship yourself, so you can pick the departments you want to go in and the offices.
No, that's fantastic, and I'm sure. If anybody has any questions, are they okay to reach out to you three?
Of course. I'll put my LinkedIn in the chat now, actually, and then I don't know if that'll be the easiest way to reach me, or email, or.
Yeah, that's perfect. So yeah, if anybody has any questions.
Sorry, Brian. I don't know if you heard me before. I think my my audio was cutting. So if anyone wants to reach out to me, they can feel free to reach out on LinkedIn.
Amazing. No, that's perfect. So if you do have any more questions for Sharon, Banner or Yasmin, do reach out on LinkedIn. I didn't go through the process last year, so I can't give you any first-hand experience. But if you have any logistical questions about the awards, eligibility, kind of next steps, things like that, again, do reach out. There are no silly questions, because if there are any silly questions, I've already asked them. So please do not worry about that. And yes, thank you very much to all 3 of our speakers today. I do still have a few slides to share with you all, so I will just bring that back up. So yeah, if you have started an application, then please go back on and finish it. As the girls were saying earlier, don't leave it until last minute. You do have until the 30th of January, but the earlier you can get that application in, the better, and then you don't have to worry about it. After the 30th of January, in kind of mid to late February, we will let you know about the next steps, if you've been successful in making it through to the next stage. And then we've got the grand final, which will be in April. And as I said, any questions, do reach out and let us know. We have another event coming up, which I would love to invite you all to. We've got the Mental Health and Wellbeing event, which is going to be live in person at the Custard Factory in Birmingham. We're going to have a range of keynote speakers, including GP practitioners who've been on the BBC. We have mental health ambassadors. Our Sybil research has shown that 4 in 5 students have experienced feeling lonely at some point in either the last day, week, or month. So we want to put a stop to that, and we've partnered up with Rolls-Royce to bring you this event, to bring all students together so you can make connections with people who are also passionate about student wellbeing. So we would absolutely love to see you at this event in November. And then finally, we have all our other events, which again, we would love to see you all at. This Friday, we have Aspire, which is for students of Black heritage. It's going to be held at PwC in London. We do have a few spaces remaining that have just become available. So I'm giving everybody on this webinar first dibs at grabbing one of the last spaces for Aspire. Again, any questions about any of the events, do reach out and ask me. But thank you very, very much to everybody for joining on the call today. I really appreciate you taking time out of your day to tune in and listen to us talk about the Undergraduate of the Year Awards. It's something that I'm really passionate about, and hopefully Yasmin, Banner and Sharon have just proved to you how amazing the awards are and that they can be absolutely life-changing. You've got nothing to lose and absolutely everything to gain. So I hope to see an application from you all very, very soon. Enjoy the rest of your day and stay safe. Bye-bye.